Jason Moore, and I'm a winemaker.
Most guys, and I do too, but most fellows will ferment in like a stainless steel tank. Well, if you think about what that gives to you, it's pretty much nothing aside from a vessel and temperature control. Stainless steel is very neutral, it's very sterile. So, but if you think about what's inside this barrel, the barrel itself, when it's brand new, I mean, you can think of it like a piece of gum. You know, when you first chew that gum, it has a lot of flavor. As you chew it, the flavor goes away, but also this barrel has its own like environment. It's you know, it's almost like alive. It has its own oak tannins, oak sugars, things like that. So those become part of that miracle of fermentation as it's occurring. And so, you know, the huge benefit of that is that, you know, if you just put a fresh wine out of a tank into a barrel, that wine in about a month or so would be much more oaky and you know, expressing much more oak than if you ferment in a barrel. So you get so much more of a, I think, a really amazing early oak integration to the wine. Another thing too, the fermentations tend to be a bit longer, and the reason for that is because if you think about what happens when you're fermenting, you know, the yeast convert sugars to alcohol, heat, and carbon dioxide. So when the heat is created by the yeast cell, other yeasts get excited by that heat, which is, you know, stimulates more fermentation, which kind of creates this, if you have enough volume, this critical mass of a really like cooking fermentation. With barrel fermentations, it's a fairly small volume, so you don't get quite that critical mass. So you have longer, more drawn out fermentations, a little bit slower, more skin contact time. It is a lot more work, as you can see. It's definitely not easy, but we work our butts off 3-4 months out of the year, physically and mentally, to make sure that our wines taste absolutely the best. There's a lot of amazing competition here, especially in this valley. And so you kind of have to do what you got to do to stand out. And this is one of the things that I've really hung my hat on.